Good morning, guys and gals. This is your host, Joe, posting to Life with Yosef. This is Tuesday, the 11th of October of 2022. I'm going to make it a little shorter day today. I'm heading to Walgreens. I need to pick up some shoelaces. The Walgreens where we're going here on Virginia used to be a Chevron station, and my brother George and I drove up here once in my 77 Monte Carlo with a 350 V8 and a 4-barrel. Oh, I love that car. Anyway, we stopped at hold on. We stopped at Donner to use the facilities, and I smelled just a whiff of radiator fluid. So I buy a new radiator cap. I see my cap was leaking a touch. Well, that fully pressurizes the system, and we had gone out to where the Grand Sierra is now to meet a friend of ours and his parents, and we were driving back, and the newly pressured radiator or system basically ruptured my radiator, and right when I'm getting off on Virginia Street, to go back to Circus, it let me know that I had a problem. So I limped it into the Chevron station that used to be right there, and hold on. And they basically pulled my radiator, sent it to the shop, had it cored, got it back, put it back in, and it was easy peasy lemon squeezy, and I got my car fixed. So, certainly cars then were a lot more fun to drive, but there was a time where cars were really reliable. Now they're so full of electronic nonsense that, well, I do like driving my mom's XT4 though. So I'm going to Western Village here to have breakfast, and you're going to see me get off the freeway. I'm going to pull into the lot and run some film, and we'll take it from there. Our next stop of the day, about 10:45 in the morning, finds us at Western Village, the hotel and casino in Sparks off of McCarran and Interstate 80. I have stayed here many, many times. It is a Peppermill property, so the food's going to be good, and I've never had a bad meal here. The steakhouse is really good. The coffee shop, though they remodeled according to the website, I'm expecting to be every bit as good. The Mexican place was also good, though again I haven't been here to eat in a very long time. We used to stay here, and the last time I stayed here, Charlie and I stayed here, and the room was really dirty, and there were drops of blood in the ashtray in a non-smoking room, and we just kind of thought, they're letting the place, they're just not taking care of the place. But I looked on their website and they remodeled. The rooms are pretty reasonably priced, but I went ahead and stayed at Motel 6, which I'm happy with the bed pad, and this 6 had a microwave and a fridge, and I don't like paying extra for that. Every motel room should have that. So what I liked about here is I like the casino here, though I've never done well at the craps table here. So anyway, hopefully the body cam will work when I walk in. We'll have a peek and we'll see what's next. Jennifer brought my breakfast. Yeah, I'm having chicken fried steak. I asked her to put gravy over everything, and they did. So I got a bite. It was good. I'm pretty happy about this. So I'm going to enjoy my breakfast. Well, my food was kind of lukewarm and the toast was cold, so I wasn't thrilled about that, but it did taste good. Notice as I walk through that there's no more dealer games. Everything's electronic. I have played craps here a bunch of times. I've only won once, and they normally had the half table, which meant that you only had one pit guy, and I never played well here, but that didn't stop me. Now on the left, I'm going to zoom in on this a touch. You'll see this little casino wizard. That is now the craps and the blackjack. Now the Poncho and Willie's is a really good restaurant, and if you're ever here, you need to eat here. But I'm kind of disappointed that there's no more handheld games. So I'm going to walk out and we'll see what's next. I stood in front of a machine that does all of that electronically, and bluntly, you know, if I'm not at the pit, it ain't crap. So I'm going to head back to the room for a second so I could hold on. The sun, Jesus, the endless sun. So I could see if my first of the three vlogs from yesterday. Oh, Jesus, I'm going the wrong way too. God, you're an idiot. So I could see if the first of the three of yesterday's vlogs loaded. God, the internet is so, the Wi-Fi is so incredibly slow there. And I'll put the second one on, and well, anyway, so we're going to get back in the car here and we'll see what's next. One time we were up here at Western Village with my brother George, my bro John B, and Dan W. And John B and I were rooming, and I called. This is back in the day of wake-up calls. I called from my room to a 4 o'clock in the morning wake-up call for George and Dan, and the operator said, well, you know, you're in room X and they're in room Y. And I said, yeah, I know, we're all together. Well, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm a light sleeper sometimes, and I hear their phone ring, and I hear George go, what the fuck wake-up call is this? I used to be such an asshole. It's a wonder I have any friends. And then another time here, I was down to my last $3. I just dumped them in a slot machine, won a $50 3-plum jackpot, and danced around like I had won the lottery. So we've had good times here at Western Village, but the last time we stayed here, Charlie and I stayed here, the room was dirty and there were drops of blood in the ashtray in the non-smoking room, and bluntly, I haven't stayed here since. So we're going to press on and we'll see what's next. This In-N-Out, I have never eaten at because every time I've come, the last time I came, there were the lines just to get in the park were literally around 2 sides of the block. And there were 2 lines like that, much less the drive-through. God, the Snyder family just prints their own money. The original John Asquaga's Nugget here in Sparks used to be this hotel on the left, which is the something or other Suites, and I've stayed here more than once, and it's actually they've remodeled and it's really nice. Though I haven't stayed here in a while. I'm driving on Victorian Avenue in Sparks, which used to be US 40. And the Lincoln Highway, and Sparks has done a lot of work here downtown trying to spiffy up its image. I don't know if it's working, but they certainly sunk a ton of money into it, so here you go. The Halfway Club up here on the right used to be halfway between Reno and Sparks. Now you see that there's been a lot of growth up here. Continuing down 4th Street, you see the Sandman here on the right, and the 40 motel on the left, you could tell these have turned into more long-term, low-income type housing. A lot of these older motels on old parts of the highway have. And then you have the unhoused, which seems to be epidemic everywhere you go. I don't know what the answer is. It just seems to be such a multifaceted issue. Anyway, you see here to the left, the Alturas Bar is just in this ancient brick building. And then up here on the right is going to be, Lou's Basque House. And the Basque have an excellent cuisine. If you like lamb, they're the go-to people. So I wanted to drive all the way down 4th Street, all the way, but there's some event here downtown, so I had to detour up here to the freeway, which you see now. So our next stop is going to be in front of a bowling alley that's actually closed, and it's been closed for a long time, but it's important to me, and I'll talk about it now.
Our next stop of the day here in Reno, in Washoe County, Nevada, finds us in front of a closed bowling alley. So, now, I know you're wondering, okay dude, why are you here? Well, there was a time in my life, in my 20s, and roughly until I moved out to Stockton with my wife, my bros and I used to bowl a lot. Mark, my brother, bowled for decades. I don't think he does anymore since he retired. But anyway, Mark and George and I were up here we had a few days off in the week, and we brought our balls here for open play, our bowling balls here for open play in the middle of the day, and I bowled my high game ever. I bowled a 253 and over a 603 game series. The best I've ever done. Even when I bowled regularly, I averaged about 155. I think one league, I averaged 159 and just wasn't able to break 160. So, as I putt around Reno here, I'm gonna run a little film like this. Not gonna be a long driving day at all, actually, so we'll see what's next.
I want to point out that bowling has turned into golf in the sense that places to bowl are just shutting down right and left. Manor, Bayfair, the 2 bowling alleys in Hayward, the one in Fremont. My mom mentioned that even Castrovelli Bowl's going to be gone. Albany Bowl as well, which was open for decades, so it's a dying game. Notice I was just going 41. The speed limit here is 35. You're going to see Washoe County up here on the right, but as I pull over to let these idiots pass me speeding, this guy didn't seem to really care. The post office is up here on the left. It got burned down a number of years ago. It was a pretty big deal. Like I said in Piscenta, you can't be burning down the post office. Well, unlike Piscenta, the post office didn't drag out a big modular for the postal service out here. They made everybody go into Reno, which really upset the residents here in Verdi, that they were treated, second class like this. Anyway, I'm driving through the older part of Verdi here. We're going to pull up to a historical spot that talks about the railroad. This is the main line transcontinental railroad that is now, Union Pacific, it seems here to me. So I'm going to pull up here and you're going to hear me talk.
Our next stop, about 10 after 12 in the afternoon, finds us in the railroad town of Verdi in Washoe County, Nevada. You saw me pull over for the guys who wanted to drive faster than me right in front of the sheriff's, or the deputy. Verdi is the site of the West first train robbery, which happened in November of 1870, where the robbers blocked the tracks east of here out by Mogul. The train stopped here for the night. They managed to unhook a couple of the cars, drive the made the railroad people drive a train to the blockage where the rocks were blocking the tracks. They broke into the locked express car. They got away with about almost $42,000, and that's 1870 money. If I look it up, I'll see how much it is now. And they all split up, but they were all caught. And out of the $42,000, only $3,000 was not recovered. So we're going to kind of put through the rest of Verdi. We'll see what's next. Our next stop of the day finds us at the Lincoln Highway bridge rails, just off of Interstate 80 in Washoe County, Nevada. Let me get to the sign so I get the day. Of course, the train has to come. Hold on. As we film the train going by, the Lincoln Highway, the bridge rails here, Washoe County had been criticized for not promoting their part of the Lincoln Highway. So a highway contractor, AF Net, NIEDT, took it upon himself to construct these two bridge rails, and they were installed on the old highway about a mile east of here. As the highway was straightened, expanded, the original route fell into disrepair, and somewhere along the line here in the early 1970s, the NDOT salvaged the bridge rails and brought them here. The only other surviving built and surviving bridge rails are in Tama, Iowa. Now I'm going to point out here that these people cannot get it right either. The Lincoln Highway split into two east of Fallon, and part of it went through Fernley, Wadsworth, Reno, Sacramento, like I talked about. The other half stayed on US 50 through Carson City, Lake Tahoe, Placerville, Sacramento, and then south through Stockton, Tracy, well, Banta, Tracy, over the Altamont, you know the rest of it, Livermore, Dublin, Castro Valley, Oakland, across the Bay Bridge, or the ferries at the time, all the way out to Lincoln Park, where the terminus marker is, where if I can find it, and I should be able to, I'll pip it in. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Lincoln Highway as we get going here, and we'll see what's next. I need to head back. I need to sit for a second, so we'll see what's next. Our next stop of the day after 5 o'clock, 5-ish or so, finds us at Roberto's Taco Shop just off of Virginia and Interstate 80 in Reno. As you could probably and they're open 24 hours, so you know this place is jumping about 2 o'clock in the morning, but alcohol's all day, every day up here. There's none of this in California, close to bars at 2 nonsense. Anyways, you've probably been able to figure out, I did not go back in the car. I didn't go down to Virginia Street. You saw that there was some event road closures. I've been going, Saturday was a long day, Sunday, and then yesterday was a real long day. I got a little bit in today. I haven't even edited today. I just got the raw clips out of the camera, mainly the dash cam. And the body camera did not turn out as good as I thought it did when you see it earlier on the clip walking through Western Village. I wish the body camera had the vibration dampening that the GoPro does. Anyway, I came down. It's just the next ramp down. I'm on Wells. I'm at the Motel 6 on Wells. We'll see if it's good. I got a breakfast, a burrito for tomorrow, so I can heat it up, have some coffee, and be out the door. It's a long way to Elko tomorrow. I've got reservations. Not tomorrow, but Thursday, I'm going to probably edit and rest and maybe do some laundry. I need to go shopping too. And then I'm going to spend Saturday, Sunday, Friday, I'm going to probably go for a scenic ride. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm going to spend with my cousin and her family. And then Tuesday, I'm contemplating coming home through Ely and Fallon. I'm going to look at this a little more. I've looked at some hotels and mileage. I need to see how much money I've spent, and we'll kind of see from there. So this, unless something happens, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So this was a good day, not as long as they usually are. But nevertheless, this is your host, Joe, hosting The Life with Joseph. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. And we'll see you for the next one.